the headquarters. I'm Justin Beheading, and today we'll be talking about a new anthology horror film called Midnight Peepshow. In Midnight Peepshow, a man named Graham wanders around the streets of Soho at night and stumbles upon a business literally called Midnight Peepshow. And in each of the booths he encounters different women who each tell their stories, and each one also takes place on Valentine's Day. The first story is about a husband and wife who experience a home invasion when a man breaks in and takes them both hostage. The second story is more or less a Saw type scenario, wherein a bride is stuck in a room with 3 male hostages and is put up to a fuck, marry, kill scenario in which she has to fuck one of the male prisoners, marry the other, and kill the last remaining one in order for any of them, save for the one that dies, to get out alive. The third and final story is about Graham and his late wife, who tried to spice up their relationship with this prostitution role play down to having him even pay her. But he soon gets suspicious when she continues to want to be paid. It soon turns out that she's doing this in order to pay off a syndicate called the Black Rabbit, and eventually has to resort to actual prostitution. So the film's stories are connected by the syndicate, the Black Rabbit, which functions almost like a jigsaw of the dark web, wherein people are forced to do certain acts on camera and are either getting paid for it in some stories or are having to pay the syndicate off in others. So I didn't love this movie, but I didn't dislike it either. It was passable. The style of the whole piece was consistent. Each story, which is helmed by a different director, was consistent in tone and execution, and I've come to find that when you have an anthology made by different directors, it is very important to have a consistency or an understanding of what each story needs to be in order to mesh with the others. I found that out when making my own anthology web series, Dark Signals. That was totally not a shameless self-promotion for my series. A perfect example of an anthology not working out because of multiple directors pushing different tones was last year's Satanic Hispanic, where each one seemed to run the gamut between either serious horror or comedic and nowhere in between. So it really did feel like multiple different directors worked on that film, whereas this one felt like each story was going in about the same direction. That consistency does unfortunately also come down to the film's budget, with the first 2 stories being largely set in one location. The last story does have multiple different locations, with the last location of the finale being a particular standout. The film does feel eerie at times, with at least one memorable visual, that being of the madam of the Midnight Peepshow, who sits at a desk with the literal Black Rabbit as a pet. Probably one of the more memorable visuals from this film. And admittedly, the only other thing that sticks out in the film is the ending, which is a what the fuck ending in the vein of William Lustig's Maniac, but far less gory. But it also definitely harkens back to Amicus Productions' anthology films, such as From Beyond the Grave and Asylum and such. Unfortunately, it doesn't rise to the heights of those films or of other great anthology films such as George Romero's Creepshow, Mario Bava's Black Sabbath, Cat's Eye, or especially another favorite of mine, Tales from the Hood. It's not a bad film, and I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. Well, that's the review, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. What are some of your favorite anthology horror films? Whatever they are, just drop a comment down below. And I'm Justin Beheading, and I hope to see you in the headquarters sometime soon.